best welterweight in the world?
Respectfully, Terrence Crawford.
What I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video. So before I get going on this video, man, y'all know what to do, man. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that like button one time for your boy so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel. Alright, so with all that out the window, man, y'all see what the title of the video is, man. Errol Spence, man, backed into a corner yet again. Fight or vacate, man. So this whole situation with Errol Spence, man, is just very interesting and very entertaining, man. Because Errol Spence, like so many other dudes, Canelo Alvarez being another one, Triple G being another one, their main objective is to look for the easiest possible fights that they can find, But as time goes on in all these guys' respective divisions, we see that time and time again they're put in situations where they either have to fight tough competition, look for a super duper cherry pick, or vacate a title, and Errol Spence seems to have reached this crossroad yet again. A few months back we did a whole live talking about how Errol Spence was backed into a corner. He had Jerome Boots in his first Ortiz. He had Terrence Bud Crawford. He had to fight one of these dudes, right? And the easiest possible route for him to go was to go after Yordenis Ugas, which he somehow managed to do, But now that he's put in front of this Yordenis Ugas fight, now that Yordenis Ugas will be officially out of the way after this fight, and that's saying that he wins the fight, right? Because honestly, there's no guarantees he beats Ugas, and I'm gonna continue to keep saying that, right? So saying that the Ugas fight is out the way, well, now you're put in a situation after Ugas where you have to fight or vacate as of right now. Because some recent news just recently came out, right? So Jaron Ennis is getting ready to fight Castillo Clayton for IBF Eliminator. Not only that, but we just heard that Keith Thurman is getting ready to fight Mario Barrios for a WBC Eliminator. And then not only that, but we have Stan Jonas, who already stepped aside for the WBC. Already stepped aside in order to make sure that this Yordenis Ugas fight, so he's right in that position. So we have Errol Spence in a situation where he got 3 mandatories, 3 mandatories, and it's literally gonna come down to fight one of them or vacate. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if that's the situation, right? Because that's what it looks like. If that's the situation, does this whole paying Staniona step aside money really justify this particular situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Al Heyman, PBC, are these dudes really gonna pay all these guys step aside money in order to make a Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight? Especially when they already came out and said that they ain't even got the money to pay Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence in order to make a fight happen. I mean, make it make sense to me, y'all. PBC, the people who's supposed to be struggling for money, are gonna somehow be able to pay all 3 of these dudes step aside money in order to make a Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight happen? I mean, I'm not buying it. I don't buy it for a second. I don't get how dudes buy it. You know what I mean? I mean, this situation is becoming very volatile for Errol Spence right now. Very volatile, because now it's like fight or vacate. You know what I'm saying? Defend your belt or give it the fuck up. You know what I mean? The IBF don't play about they mandatories. They will strip you in a goddamn heartbeat. Once they enforce a mandatory, they will strip the shit out of you. The WBC may give you a little bit more leeway, but the IBF don't play them games. You know? So, you know, I mean, Errol Spence, man, the easy route, he's officially at the end of the easy route when it comes to 147 pounds. Now, he could move up to 154. He could drop the belts and maybe look for some super-duper easy cherry picks. He could do something like that. Or he could move up to 154 pounds, in which case maybe Jermell Charlo moves up to 160, drops those belts, and he's in prime position in order to be able to pick up those belts. But just like I said in my last video, Bud will be up there at 154 when he gets there with that WBO belt, and more than likely. And we'll be in this same situation all over again. But yet Bud will be a step. This is why Bud needs to go ahead and move up to 154 now and not wait on Errol Spence to not fight him when the time comes. Because I know Errol Spence ain't gonna fight him. You know Errol Spence ain't gonna fight him. We all know Errol Spence ain't gonna fight this dude come after Dennis Ugas. Should he be able to get the win versus Dennis Ugas? He ain't calling out no goddamn Terrence Crawford. There's too many excuses and too many reasons for him not to fight a Terrence Crawford. For him to actually look for a Terrence Crawford. And I can't wait to hear what you Errol Spence fans say when the time actually comes, when it actually happens, and Errol Spence is put on the spot and he's asked about Terrence Crawford. Matter of fact, they might not even ask him about Terrence Crawford because they probably already know not to say that man's name. But I can't wait for when that situation actually happens and Errol Spence doesn't say Terrence Crawford's name. He doesn't mention anything about Terrence Crawford. I can't wait till the situation actually comes and Errol Spence says, I just want to go chill, take a vacation, and chill on my ranch. I can't wait till he says that shit after your Dennis Ugas fight. Should he be able to get the victory? So dudes can get it completely and utterly out of their mind that Errol Spence is at all serious about a Terrence Crawford fight. You know? But you know, I mean, this situation is just getting real volatile for Errol Spence. Once again, he's backed into a corner. Once again, he's in a situation where the easy route has ended, and now he's going to have to either fight some tough competition in Jerron Boots Ennis, or even a Keith one-time Thurman, you know what I'm saying? Or even a Virgil Ortiz, you know, or Vacate. Of course, he could fight Stanionis. But will he be able to fight Stanionis and keep the IBF belt and the WBC belt? Should that actually happen? And if that situation does unfold like that, what does that say about the decision that Errol Spence made to not fight Terrence Crawford, to hold true to his word like what a lot of you dudes are saying, and collect all his belts or do everything on his side of the street, then look for Terrence Crawford? You know what I'm saying? So I think this situation, man, I think this whole situation is a clusterfuck. I think anybody who knows anything about boxing knows exactly how this situation is going to end up. Errol Spence is either going to lose before he gets to Terrence Crawford, in which case after he loses, he's probably going to want to look for a Terrence Crawford fight, because at that point he won't have an O, and you know, he won't have nothing to lose at that point. He'll probably lose to Boots or somebody like that, or lose on his way there and then look for a Terrence Crawford fight. Or he makes it past Ugas, is confronted with a fight at 150, confronted with his mandatory fights in Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. Maybe stays the WBA route, fights Stanionis, and then moves up to 154 pounds, in which case, you know, maybe he's able to pick up one of those belts, one of those vacant belts that Jermell Charlo left behind, should Bud not to be able to get that Jermell Charlo fight. So, I mean, that's how this shit looking like for me, man. That's how this shit looking like for me, man. You know what I mean? Looking like more ducking, looking like more running. Looking like what we all knew the whole Stanionis situation was going to look like. At the end of the day, you're going to have to fight one of these dudes, or you're going to have to vacate. And if you got to vacate your title, bro, it's this whole, oh, I want to collect all my belts on this side of the street and then fight bullshit, it's all the way the fuck out the window. if you gotta vacate one of your belts in order to make the fight happen. And yes, unifications take precedence over mandatories at the end of the day. But you gotta be willing to make the fight happen. And that's only in certain sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? So, Errol Spence, fight or vacate. Let me know what you guys think. Hit it up in the comment section below. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that like button one time for your boy. But I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.
Beating Kell Brook now, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia. Who do you want next?
Oh, I'm gonna chill on my ranch. I just bought a new ranch. I got a couple horses. I'm gonna get some more horses, get some chickens.